Check, 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 check. Check in, check, check, checkmate. Okay. All right, are you ready? I'm ready. All right, we're going to start. Actually, before I start, let's do this. Guest 8796. Guest 8796. If you are ready, type yes. Alrighty then. Without further ado, let me turn off the air conditioning so we don't have any noise, and let me bring myself up on screen here. Hey! And let me turn off that crawly thing. We don't need that. All right. Camera got out of whack a little bit. There we go. Hi. I'm Bob, Dr. Mac LeVitus. I am the creator and founder of Working Smarter for Mac Users. I don't know, we probably ought to just dive right in. I'm starting a little late because I was waiting for late arriving guests. So now that you're here, let's do it. All right. And here we go. So what's this Working Smarter thing all about? My name is Dr. Mac, and I show Mac users how to do more work in less time so they have more time for the things they love. That's in a nutshell, that's what I teach. That's what Working Smarter is all about. Doing things better, faster, and more elegantly so you have more time to do the things that you really want to be doing. All right. Here's my promise. In this 1 hour workshop, which isn't an hour, trust me, I'll have you out of here in 40 minutes tops, 45 minutes maybe. I'm going to show you 3 simple Working Smarter techniques, just 3 things. But I believe in giving you quick wins. You know, I believe that if I can show you a few things that really have an impact, that can really improve your productivity quickly and easily, then maybe you'll, want to learn some more. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to show you these 3 techniques. These techniques are going to save you at least 15 minutes a day, maybe more. All right, every day for the rest of your life, absolutely free of charge. Every day for the rest of your life, for free. Why? Because this is what I do. Someday I might try to sell you something. In fact, I'm going to try to sell you something at the end of this workshop. But that's not why you're here. I'm going to show you this stuff whether you buy anything or not. It doesn't matter. All right? The thing is, this is my new business. And because of that, well, it's unlike anything I've ever done before. I've done For Dummies books, and I've done lots of other stuff. But this is really a whole new thing for me. So, all right, let me get the slides up here on screen. Here we go. All right, so here's the thing. Ah, that's better. Many people, when they first hear about this whole working smarter thing, wonder if it's right for them. And here's the thing. It's designed for users of any skill level. If you use a Mac and you want to be more efficient, you want to manage your time more efficiently, your activities better, and procrastinate even less, I can help you with working smarter. All right? If you make your living sitting in front of a Mac, I guarantee 100% you can benefit from the things I'm going to show you. And you're going to learn to do more work in less time so you have more time for the things you love. That is my promise. Ready? So there are 3 parts to the Working Smarter program. Working Smarter is actually a bunch of things. It's a book. It's a bunch of online courses. And it's all of the stuff that I write about, really, productivity stuff that I write about. So there are 3 parts of Working Smarter, the way I see it. And the thing is, if you don't work on all 3 of them and make improvements in all 3 areas, well, let's put it this way. It's easy to make small wins in any of these categories, but if you combine them all and make wins in all of them, your productivity increase is the sum is greater than the total of the parts, okay? So we've got the 3 parts. They're efficiency, and that is doing things better, faster, and more elegantly. Doing the things that you already do better, faster, and more elegantly. Managing your activities. Some people call that time management, but there's no such thing as time management. You can't manage time. Imagine that, managing time. No, you can manage how you use time. But time passes at a fixed rate of 1,440 minutes every day. You can't make more and you can't make less. So, and then finally, procrastination. We'll talk a little about rabbit holes a little later in this workshop, but the truth is, I think everybody suffers from procrastination sometimes, some more than others. And the thing is, if you don't do something about it, then you're destined to keep repeating the same mistake, which is falling down a rabbit hole when you have things to do. Okay? So here's the thing. When you take all 3 parts and work them together, then you will become a raging thunder lizard of productivity, like me. I'm serious. You'll work far fewer hours, and you'll get more done in the hours that you do work than you ever did before. So here's the thing. In the old days, I never missed a deadline. I've written 80 some odd books in 20 some odd years. That's like 4 books a year. And columns the whole time, at least 1 or 2 columns a week, every week for 20 some odd years. Not to mention other things that I do, like my TV show, my radio show. I've done a lot of stuff, and I keep myself very busy, and I never missed a deadline. But boy, in the beginning, it was really hard. I worked, often I worked from dawn until midnight. I'd get up at 6 or 7 in the morning, and I'd start working, and 11, 12 o'clock at night would roll around, and I'd still be working, and I still wouldn't have finished everything that I thought I should finish, everything that needed to be finished. I never missed a deadline, but I struggled, and I worked constantly, and I wasn't very happy about it. And then this is even cooler, or not, I don't know about cooler, but then the plot thickened, and I found out that I have ADD or ADHD. I have attention deficit or attention deficit hyperactivity. To make a long story short, I have a very hard time staying focused. I have a very hard time doing only one thing at a time. I have a very hard time staying on one task when there's shiny objects or websites or anything else around. And I had to learn to deal with this because I've been this way my whole life. And I realized that I spent the first part of my life learning how to deal with this by working long hours. It's like I compensated for the fact that I couldn't stay on task by just working more hours, by sheer force of will alone. And so here's the thing. once I figured out that I had this thing, and once I talked to a doctor and I got some therapy and I read some stuff, a lot of stuff, I came to the conclusion that this is very workable. This is something that you can work with and work to turn from they call it disorder, I don't know about that, but to turn it from a disorder into an advantage. And so the thing is, it made me get organized. It made me think through why I was spending 18 hours a day to do 4 hours of work a day. So here's the thing. Today, I'm very organized. My work days end at, before dinner. I don't work after dinner. Well, I won't say I don't. I rarely, very rarely work after dinner. I never miss a deadline. I still never miss a deadline, but I'm not all crazy about it. And I get to do the things I like to do, like hang out with my family or play my guitar and stuff like that. And so I really believe that I can help you with my Working Smarter stuff. So what's your biggest frustration? Where do you run into the biggest obstacle to your productivity when you're working on your Mac? All right? Here's the thing. I can't look at your comments in real time. They are actually delayed by, I don't know, at least a minute. So if I tried to wait, it would really be boring. So I'm not going to do that. But I do want you to, if you would, type into the box there in the chat box what your biggest frustration is right now, what you're having the most difficulty with. And I will take a look at those the next time I take a little break from talking. And by the end of the workshop, I will have looked at all of them and answered anything that addressed anything that you tell me. All right? But I have one more thing before I go on to the cool Mac stuff and the cool techniques. And that one thing is you're going to miss out on the best deal on all of my Working Smarter products if you leave early. All right? The workshop is going to be available for a replay, but the offer won't. The offer is one time, and it only if you stay till the end. And so, without further ado, let me show you the first Working Smarter technique. Technique number one, it's snippets, and I'm going to tell you why they rock. So what's a snippet? A snippet, excuse me, apple juice. No, it's water with an apple logo. Okay, so snippets. What's a snippet? Here's the thing. Your computer is a better typist than you are. Your computer can type faster and more reliably and more accurately. It's a weird thing, but your fingers, no matter how good a typist you are going to fail you sometimes. And the thing is, there are things you type every day, many times a day, that you can have your computer memorize for you and then play back typing them, which is what the snippets are all about. So snippet is kind of a shortcut or a abbreviation maybe for a longer piece of text. And so you type a short snippet and a longer piece of text appears on the screen. I'm going to show you in a little while, but here's the thing. Everything that you type a bunch of times a day, your email address, your home address, your work address, your signature, anything else you type repetitively, your Mac will type it easier, faster, and more accurately than you will. So snippets are going to save you a ton of time and effort and also, at the same time, at no extra charge, prevent embarrassing typos. There's nothing worse than sending someone your email address and having made a fat finger thing and not given them the right email address. So snippets address leg one, the first leg, the left leg, the improve your efficiency leg. And again, you can work on any one of the three legs, but if you want to see massive improvement in your productivity, you need to look at all of them, all three of them. So now, let me show you how to make a snippet absolutely free with just what you have on your Mac. This has been built into Mac OS for a couple of versions, 3 versions now. So you should be able to do this. You don't want to follow along at home because you'll get lost. You'll fall behind. But While I'm doing this, remember there will be a replay of this available if you want to come back and watch it again. So you start by launching System Preferences and clicking Keyboard. All right? And from the Keyboard System Preference pane, that's where you're going to do this. You want to click first the Text tab at the top of the screen. And then you're going to click the plus down at the bottom. All right? And that will open up a new field. It's just above the arrow, the lower left arrow. Let's see if I can show it to you. So there, right there. Yeah, there we go. Right there is an open field. And I'm going to type something in there, 3 letters. And then I'm going to, in the other field, the one that's kind of yellowish right now, this one here, I'm going to type in something longer. And that's what will be replaced. So the snippet is, it's only 2 letters, BW. And that will type my email address, bob@workingsmarterformacusers.com. So you do that. You type the abbreviation or the replace thing or the snippet, and then what you want to replace it with on the right. And then when you're done, close the System Preference pane. And then when you type this, here's how it'll look. So when you type BW now, when you press the space bar or you add a punctuation mark and a space bar, this will expand instantly into bob@workingsmarter.com. So it works like this. You type BW space, and that's what happens, and that's how fast it happens. It expands instantly. So here's the thing. Your Mac has that built in, and it's a great shortcut, and it's a great way to get started with this stuff. But if you really want to get good at it, if you really want to be organized, and if you want to work with an interface that doesn't limit you to two little teeny fields on your screen that aren't resizable, you might want to get something that specializes in snippeting. There are a bunch of programs around that do it, and I talk about them in both the book and the course, but the one that I use, the one that really I find the best of them all, and there are a bunch of really good ones, but the one that I like is called Text Expander, and if you look right here, it saved me 12.08 hours over the last, what does it say, 3 months? Yeah. 4 months. So it was a September, October, November, December, January. So 5 months, 12 hours. That's, my math is bad. It's over 2 hours a month. And that's a lot of time saved by just adopting a shortcut thing that lets me not have to type so much. So, you know, it really is pretty amazing that I saved 12 hours over 4 or 5 months, and probably could have saved even more if I used it as much as I should. I haven't added a lot of new snippets because the old ones I use all day long. I probably could, I'm going to work on getting that up even higher. All right, so here's the question. Which way do you want to do it? If you don't use snippets, then you're going to be typing long stuff over and over again. If you choose to create some snippets for the things you type every day more than once, you will automate a big part of what your fingers are doing all day. So here's my question to you. Which way are you going to do it moving forward? Are you going to type those things over and over and over again? Or are you going to do it the easy way and use snippets? I want you to type your answer into the chat box and I will address it later. Working smarter tip number 2, or technique number 2. A goal without a plan is just a wish. If you take the time to plan your workday rather than just jump in and do stuff, you'll find that you get a lot more done. Being organized and having a plan really helps. So, and the key thing for me is identifying the most important tasks for the day. There's 2 or 3 things that really are important and should be addressed before I do other things, especially before I do other things in rabbit holes. So I like to not only identify these 3 things, MITs, my most important tasks, I also like to write them down and keep them where I can see them all day long so that if I'm doing something else, I have a constant reminder that maybe it's not important that I do that. So I keep a written plan for every day. I use a sheet that, here, I have one here. I'm going to show you some more. It's called Super Plan, the Super Plan productivity worksheet. I made them, and you can have them free if you want. I print a big batch of them whenever I run out, and every single day I make a plan that looks kind of like this. And here's what the whole thing looks like. So I write down the 3 most important tasks of the day. On the right, I have some goals, I have some random notes, and then on the left, by the hour, while I'm in the office, these are the things I'll be doing during that time period. And they get checked off as I get them done. And this way, I don't fall down a rabbit hole, because I know that at a certain time I'm supposed to be doing a certain thing. It's right there on a piece of paper on my desk. Some people ask why I don't do it on the computer, and the reason is, number one, I like to write with a fountain pen, and just the feeling of it, I don't know, it's kind of old school, but I like to use my fountain pen. And number two, if it's on my screen, it's going to be buried behind stuff. If it's on my desk, I can take pains to place it somewhere where I will see it all day. And that's different from my screen. Nothing on my screen will be where I can see it all day, because stuff takes up the whole screen, and what it is that's taking up the whole screen changes during the day. All right? Okay. So that's looking at leg number 2, managing your time, managing your activities within time. And this is planning. Time management is a misnomer. You don't manage time. You manage the way you use your time. And so, well, look, this is Guy Kawasaki, the Apple evangelist. It's no coincidence that the day after he read my book, he started working on his next book, and he's going to finish it because of my book. It really does make you more productive. If you follow these tips and tricks and hints, some of them might not work for you, but a lot of them will. Just give them a shot. I know that snippets save me a ton of time. I know that having a plan saves me a ton of time. And this next thing is going to save, well, wait. Oh, yeah. If you want the free productivity planning worksheet, you're welcome to it. You can print as many as you like. It'll start supercharging your productivity today. But I don't want you to leave, so I'm going to put a slide up at the very end of the presentation with the URL where you can download the free productivity planning worksheet. All right? So here's my next question. Are you going to try making a plan? Type your answers in the chat box. I've got one more technique or tip, and then I will take a look at everything you've written there and address them all before moving on. All right, so here's the thing. Are you going to make a plan? Yes or no? Then let's move on to the third Working Smarter technique, the Pomodoro. Do you do the Pomodoro? The hardest part of writing is keeping your ass in the chair. Wallace Stegner, American novelist. The secret to writing a screenplay is keeping your ass in the chair. Oliver Stone, Academy Award-winning director. The secret to getting stuff done is keeping your ass in the chair. Dr. LeVitus. So here's the thing. I've always read that quote, those quotes, and said, I absolutely true, because I have a tendency. My mother used to say I had ants in my pants. I just can't stay in the chair very long. And if you can't stay in the chair very long and you're a writer, you aren't going to get a lot of work done, because it's very difficult to be a writer when you're walking around. You can try dictation, but trust me, you need to compose and read text if it's going to be printed and read by others. So here's the thing. I came upon this technique, the Pomodoro technique, a few years ago. It's called the Pomodoro technique because that's Italian for tomato. Pomodoro means tomato in Italian, and tomatoes have nothing to do with it. But the guy used a timer. Timers have a lot to do with it, that looked like a tomato. So the guy that invented Pomodoros used a tomato-shaped, I'll show you a picture of it in a minute. All right, but here's the thing. The Pomodoro technique works like this. You work 25 minutes on one thing and one thing only. When you're done in 25 minutes, the timer goes off and you take a short break before you start on the next 25-minute Pomodoro session. Now here's the thing. 1, you don't multitask. You don't check your mail. You don't look at your tweets. You don't look at messages, you don't do any of that. You work on one thing. And if you don't work on one thing, you stop the timer and start it again and do 25 minutes of one thing. Number two, if you're interrupted by something, you stop the timer, deal with the interruption, and then start the timer again. So 25 minutes. You quickly learn to avoid being interrupted and having to restart the timer, and you want to buzz through. There's scientific evidence that it takes as much as 20 or 30 minutes to get back on task after an interruption. So I turn everything off. I turn Do Not Disturb. I turn the phone ringer off. I turn all of the notifications on all my devices off when I want to be in the zone and creating things for 25 minutes in a row. I try very hard not to have interruptions. I lock the door to the office. I put a sign out that says, enter at your own risk, things like that. All right. So then you do it over and over all day long. So 25 minutes, 5-minute rest, 10-minute break, more. You do it over and over. I use a free app on the Mac. It's called ZoneBox. It was $5. It's free now, I think. It was free last time I looked. So here's the thing. I like two things about it. Number one, it shows me how much time is left in my Pomodoro session. That's that 13 minutes you see there, both in the menu bar and on the screen. And then I also like the purple thermometer or progress bars, both in the window, that's the lower one, and in the menu bar. So they give me a visual indication that I'm roughly halfway through my 25 minutes, and I need to know that, or I won't keep my ass in the chair. So if you employ these Pomodoro techniques, that's the timer I was telling you about, you'll waste less time, I guarantee it. It just works. It not only helps you get more done and waste less time, Pomodoro sessions are really good at helping you avoid procrastination. So here's the thing. If you're a procrastinator, the combination of Pomodoros plus time blocking, which is, having your work day planned out, is a game changer. This guy gave me a 5-star review for the course, and he says it's a game changer because if you do these things, which, that's 2 of the legs there, and maybe throw in some snippets for good measure, all of this starts to add up to a lot of time saved every day. You get to be really organized. You get to be a raging thunder lizard of productivity. Now I have another question for you. Why are you here today? I would like you to type this in the chat box once again. I'm going to talk for a couple of minutes, then I'm going to look and see what you guys have said. But here's the thing. Are you as efficient as you'd like to be when you use your Mac? Would you like to spend less time working and more time doing things you love? Are you ready to banish procrastination forever? And really, don't you want to be a raging thunder lizard of productivity? Isn't that better than what you're doing now? I think so. All right, so you're probably wondering at this point, well, how do I get that result? How do I become a raging thunder lizard of productivity? And there's 2 ways, the old slow way and the new fast way. So the old slow way would be to not do anything differently, to not use snippets and not have a plan and not use Pomodoro sessions to keep you focused. Do none of that. Or you can do it the fast way by working smarter. So here's the fast way, working smarter. It's a book. Hold on, you can see the book right here. I just have to hide my face. Watch. There's the book up there in the corner. Okay. And I'm back. It's all video. The course is all video. The book is all book. It's got some video in it. It's got, I think, 5 short videos in the ebook. But here's the thing. Working Smarter for Mac users is a unified system of techniques, tricks, tips, hints, things I've learned, ways to do things, interesting facts, and a lot of useful techniques for being more productive. I show you how to do more work in less time so you can have more time for the things you love. I keep saying that, but that really is the crux of the matter. That is it. So you might be wondering, who's the course for? It's for everybody that's a Mac user. If you sit in front of a Mac to do your work, you will understand and benefit from the things that I teach in Working Smarter for Mac users. Remember, I've written dozens, literally, dozens of books for dummies. That's the name of the series, not for people who are dummies. The yellow for, you know, those yellow for, can you see those? Yeah, you can see them. Well, yellow for dummies books, I've written dozens. Literally, I know how to write clearly and concisely. I know how to show you videos that are clear and concise. If you think you could be doing more work when you sit in front of your Mac and work, I guarantee you can. Let me show you how I could help you, okay? So let's talk about the online course, because an ebook is an ebook, right? The online course is 73 short lessons, all at around 10 minutes or less. Most of them are under 5 minutes, and they're broken into 3 parts that should by now sound familiar to you. 3 parts, 73 lessons, evenly divided, fairly well, broken into the 3 parts that you're now familiar with. So here's the thing. I want you to know I wrote, produced, and edited. I don't mean just edited the text. I edited the video too, because I'm a solopreneur. I am what they call a solopreneur. Nobody works here but me. So everything has, everything has been blessed with my touch. I've seen every inch of what you're going to be doing here, and it all sprung out of my brain. None of it is filler, and I don't have any minions, and the lessons are optimized for desktops and mobile. You can watch them anywhere that you've got a web browser, really. If you've got a decent internet connection, they look great on your iPhone, on your iPad, on your Apple TV, on your Mac, and they just look, it's really, we took a lot of care to make sure that you could watch these short lessons anywhere. These 73 short lessons that are going to turn you into a raging thunder lizard of productivity are totally portable. You can, if you've got 5 or 10 minutes somewhere, you can just pull it up on your phone or your iPad and watch one there. And I want you to know that I am there to answer your questions personally. So each of the 73 lessons has its own discussion board, and you can post a question associated with the content in any lesson. I'll be there to answer it, usually within hours and almost always the same day. But the thing is, it'll be me doing the answering, not one of my minions. And you know how I know that? I don't have minions. I'm a solopreneur. I said that already. I am a solopreneur. I don't have any minions. I will be answering your questions personally, and I like it that way. And in fact, while I don't play the false scarcity game and say that there's only so many seats available, I don't like to have that many people going through the classes at once. And if they fill up to the point where I don't feel I can keep up with the comments in the discussion boards, I will not take on any new students until I'm caught up, until I graduate some of you out and can maintain it, because I don't want to hire people to do that. I want to do it myself. If you have a question about something I wrote or said, I want to answer it myself, not have somebody answer it pretending to be me. Okay, so here's the thing. The course normally goes for $4.99. But workshop attendees, because I love you for coming to my workshop and for reading my emails and all that other stuff, I'm going to give you 60% off. You'll pay just $1.99. Okay? Don't delay, though. This one-time offer expires at midnight on Sunday. Okay? So this isn't going to be in the replay, and I'm not going to repeat it. It's a one-time deal for you in the chat room. That's it. Don't delay. If you want to, wait, did I show you the thing already? No. I'll tell you what your code is in a second, but don't delay. This one-time offer expires at midnight on Sunday, and let me wrap things up. If you spend too much time chasing rabbits down those rabbit holes, if you procrastinate when you know you should be working, I guarantee you will do more work in less time. You will save up to an hour every day for the rest of your life. I stand behind the course and an ebook. 100% 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions. If If you're not satisfied, if it doesn't work for you for some strange reason, it's worked for hundreds at this point, maybe even thousands. But imagine this. Imagine finishing all your work before sunset every day. I do. So here's the thing. When you enroll, you get a welcome email. I'm going to welcome you with login instructions. You can dive right in. I suggest you watch the intro and the prelude. They're a little longer than most of the lessons, but they set the stage for everything else to come. Or if you just want to get more productive now, dive in at the first lesson and go through it as fast as you can. The faster you finish, the sooner you will be a Raging Thunder Lizard. So do whatever suits you, but I recommend finishing as soon as possible. You also get a weekly reminder every week if you have unwatched lessons, and yeah, that's it. So that's the deal. I got a couple more things for you. So here's the thing. Save 60%, enroll today. Remember, this offer expires at midnight Sunday, and I'm going to now paste the URL into the chat, and remember to use the coupon code SAVE60, all one. Just like you see it on the screen. Here comes the URL where you can enroll for the course. All right. It's in the chat log, and where were we? There we go. All right. Now, any questions? I'm going to come back and answer questions. If you have any, please type them into the chat box there, and I will answer them shortly. I'm going to go ahead and finish up these last few things and leave you with that last slide so you can go download your freebies. All right, so here's the thing. You got nothing to lose. You got countless hours to gain. If you're still on the fence, type what's troubling you in. I mean, with a money-back guarantee and you've seen what other people say. You can go to the website and look at my love page. People are really getting great results from this program. If you're still on the fence, please type what's concerning you into the chat box, and I will do my best to address them right here and now before I sign off. Remember, though, this special offer is going to expire at midnight. All right, so hit that URL that's in the chat log. Start working smarter today. Isn't it about time you did something about all that time you waste every day? Just start working smarter now. Let me help you become a Raging Thunder Lizard of productivity. There is one last thing before I sign off. I'm going to address all your questions, and here's where you can download your free Working Smarter Super Plan Productivity Planning Worksheet that you can print as many as you like of. There's also a keyboard shortcut cheat sheet there, and some inspirational quotes, I think, and a couple other things maybe. Anyway, so here, I'm going to paste that into the chat log for you also now. Here we go. Ready? Boom. There you go. And I want you to stand by for the thrilling closing credits. I have to switch to full screen and take myself out of the picture here. So I'm going away. Mac screen's going away. And here come the closing credits. Ready? All right. Well, thank you all for coming. It's been really awesome. I will be back in a couple weeks with another workshop. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, now's the time to type them. Otherwise, I'm going to say, hold on, farewell. It's been great having you. Have a great